so boom, did you know that you can actually create and sell what's called low content books and then sell them on a site called Amazon KDP? What's up, good people? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Alex and Defined by Alex. I'm a lifestyle creator that shares helpful business tips so that way you can make you some extra money on the side. You can actually create your own book, okay, without having to write a single word, without having to be this world-renowned Pulitzer Prize author. You can do this so easily, and I'm going to show you how in today's video. Be sure to stay to the end of today's video so that way I can actually show you how to do it step by step and starting to create your low content books, explaining to you what they are and how you can publish them on Amazon KDP. Okay, so let me break down what it really means when it comes to low content book. So a low content book is anything that's pretty much containing minimum to no content inside of the book. So perfect example, I'm sure you guys are using some type of notebook, some type of journal, some type of planner. So these are all examples of low content books that you can make and sell on Amazon KDP. Now, if you haven't been living under a rock, then you know that Amazon actually started as a bookstore. So KDP stands for Kindle Direct Publishing. That just simply means that you as a non-authored person can create low content books and then self-publish them on Amazon KDP, all for the free. I feel like this side hustle needs to have a little bit more pressure applied, okay? Because you can do this from virtually anywhere. You do not have to be stuck at home. You can be on a plane, in a train, on a boat. Honey, you can be anywhere when it comes to creating your low content books and then publishing them on Amazon KDP. I'm also gonna show you a website that can help you kind of step your game up when it comes to creating these low content books. So let's go ahead and hop into my laptop so we can get started. All right, good people, so you may have not heard of this site before, but it's called BookBolt. So this is gonna be where you actually create the low content book. So what I'm going to do now is just log in. Go ahead and just delete that prompt real quick. Okay, so once you log in, this is what you're going to see when it comes to getting started using BookBolt. So this site, as y'all can see, has a lot of good tutorials. I mean, honestly, if you are brand new to creating low content books or you've never heard of it, then I suggest you go ahead and just watch these tutorials, especially the ones that kind of seem more interesting to you. So for an example, if you want to look up like product research and how to do that, I say have at it, okay? Because there is nothing wrong with learning as much as you want to know when it comes to making some money, okay? So this is going to be pretty much kind of like the main page you see after you log into BookBolt. Now, I also want to say this. BookBolt is actually a monthly charge of, I believe, $15 a month, but you get 7 days for free if you do want to sign up. So I don't want y'all to be blindsided by the charge. I wanted y'all to know that so that way you know if it's in your budget. You can go ahead and, you know, pay for this monthly after you've passed the 7 days, okay? So I want to focus on like a few sections when it comes to BookBolt. I'm not going to go through everything, but I do want to point out the most important features that I think is going to be helpful to y'all. So I want to go ahead and start off with the product tab. So the product tab is going to be where you can pretty much search for product, get a good idea of what you want to start, you know, selling, and kind of see what other people are selling as well. I think this is a really good starting point if you really want to have some type of inspo and you don't know what to do, you just getting started, okay? So when it comes to product, I highly recommend that you start here because you kind of just get an idea of what you want to sell and things like that. So as y'all can see right here, I've pretty much just been searching for a few things. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to manifestation journal. Now that's going to be the keywords I search for, but when it comes to category, this is where you can kind of finesse it to figure out if you want to be more specific or if you want to, you know, be broad. So for category, you can leave it as general, but if you select the drop down, then you will see here you have so many different categories that you can choose from that will just narrow down your search. So just for fun, let's go ahead and do journal since I'm trying to figure out what products are gonna pull up for a manifestation journal. So I'm gonna go ahead and select search. So once you type in your keywords and you're looking for products, this is where you can pretty much get a good idea as to what's selling and what people are, you know, pretty much making and earning as well on Amazon KDP. So it's kind of like this middle box here where you have result data, you have the keywords, you have the total results that's going to be pulled on that page, the average BSR, which is bestseller rate, the lowest price this type of journal is selling for, and the highest price, and then what's that average, okay? and then we have the category, which is journal. So if I keep scrolling, as you guys see here, it's trying to load more items. You could just bypass that, okay? If you just want to see a few of them, then you just go have at it. So let's just go ahead and focus at the top. So this top one here, 369 manifestation journal, you can pretty much get an idea as to what this person is titling their low content book. When did they publish it? You can see like their estimated sales a month, which isn't bad given that this book is almost $10. So this is how you pretty much start thinking about what you can sell and you know what can be of your advantage when it comes to creating your own low content book. In this section as well, you can also like figure out keyword count. If you're not familiar with keywords, this would be a good place to start for you, so that way you kind of know like what to use for your keywords. But this would be your best place to get started, you know, if you really want to find some inspo, you don't know what to sell. So as I scroll down here, you can also see like on the right hand side related keywords. So again, I pretty much will say keywords a lot in this part of the video, but it's just a lot of keywords, and keywords are going to be so critical when it comes to your type of book pulling up in the search results and then selling, okay? Because again, we all about making that coin. The next tab I want to focus on is called the cloud tab. Now the cloud tab is a little creeper, okay, because it lets you pretty much see how much people are really making a month from selling different types of books. So getting started from selling from the left to the right, you see that it's going to be searched by the top 100 best sellers. The category is notebook, but just like in products, we can change that category as well. It defaults to a bestseller range of 1 to 500,000, and then the price range from 0 to 100. I'm going to tweak a few things just to pull in better results for y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and change category to journal. The BSR, I'm going to keep it that way. I'm not going to really mess with that. But what I am going to do is adjust the price range, because first of all, ain't nobody going to be selling nothing for free. So if you sell something, you want to make sure that you change that just to get an idea as to what's going to be the lowest selling product in your niche and something that you want to sell, and then what's the highest. So because it caps at 100, I'll keep it there. But I'm going to start at like $6 so you can at least receive some type of royalty, which is profit when it comes to Amazon KDP. So you want to be mindful of your price range. Don't lowball yourself, but also just kind of see what other people are selling their journals or notebooks or whatever you want to sell, right? So that way you could fall in that same, you know, that same price range. Now, as far as keywords, this is totally optional. I'm gonna stick with the manifestation theme since that's what I started with, and that way we can see what's pulling up as, you know, what other people are making for manifestation journals. All right, so let's get started. So boom, I'm literally just gonna focus on the first row. Again, you guys can get in here yourself and have at it and figure out what people are making, you know, on Amazon KDP selling books. So for the first one here, the 369 manifesting journal and 93-day guided workbook, we can see that this is independently published, so it's self-published. This person has a lot of good reviews on Amazon. Check this out, y'all. They published this last year, okay? Last time I checked, these years be going by super fast. So if you think about it, this wasn't too long ago from when this person published their low content book. Now they're pricing their journal at almost $20, okay? Look at the price. The key things you want to look at here for the cloud, you want to look at what they're selling it for. You want to see how many monthly sales they're receiving, okay? So that way you do the math, and that pretty much helps you decide the potential and the earning potential that you can make as well when selling low content books. So this is the cloud. I really like this section. You get to creep, okay, on your competitors to see how much they're selling their journal for, and on the estimate how much they're bringing in a month from producing these low content books. So now let's move on to keywords. So when you go to keywords, you want to make sure you hit search. Now this is going to be pretty cool because this is where you can actually start saving some keywords, and then you can also get familiar with keyword ranking. So for an example, keyword ranking is going to go from low, medium to high. Low meaning that not a lot of people are searching for, so you have that advantage to be in that area. Medium being that there's a few people searching for, but it hasn't hit yet, so you still have that advantage. And then you have high, which is going to be a lot of people are searching for it. It's a lot of volume, so you may want to steer away getting started so that way your book won't get lost in the sauce. So when it comes to keyword keyword research, this is where you're gonna have to think outside the box too. A good rule of thumb is you could always go to the Amazon website and pretty much like start typing in something to give yourself ideas. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm gonna go ahead and stick with manifestation journal. Actually, scratch that. I'm gonna actually do something a little bit different and type in law of attraction journal, and let's see what pulls up and what it ranks. So this is gonna be a really good part for you guys to pay attention to, because as you can see here, we have the 369 law of attraction keyword as a medium result, as a medium pull when it comes to keywords, which means that there's some people that's searching for it, but there's not a lot of people that's searching for it. Whereas if we move, keep going down, if you just label something as an attraction journal, you see it's a high pull and high result when it comes to keywords. So that's telling you that a lot of people are searching for this. So you may want to kind of just finesse your title just a little bit more. And then moving down, you see we have some really good pulls. So honestly, if you are wanting to make a manifestation journal, honey, I'm showing you, okay? I'm laying it down for you because this is real life results that I'm pulling when it comes to making a law of attraction or manifestation journal. So right here is a really good example. You guys can see that it's green. We all know that green means good and green means money, okay? So when it comes to the keywords that you should be paying attention to, it's gonna be the ones that say low, okay, to medium, because those are gonna be your best bet when it comes to customers searching for your product or searching for that particular product, and then yours actually, showing for them. So this is pretty much your keywords. Now, moving on to the favorites part of the keyword, let's just say if attraction law or Bob Proctor law of attraction, or law of attraction interests you in the title, you can save it to your favorites. And what that means is now when I go to my favorites, I have a few favorites here, y'all, so don't mind my results because we're actually in my account, but I already favorited that. So if I go down here, where was it, law of attraction, you guys see at the bottom that it saves as my favorites here. And now if I need to use it again, I can go to my favorites and keep it moving. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you guys is actually how you can start creating your low content book. So now let's keep going so I can show you how to get that started. So let's just say you've watched the tutorials, you looked at products and the cloud and things like that. Now it's actually time to create the book. So what you're going to do here is go to the research tab, and then once you select it, you're going to click create. Now under create, it gives you 3 options. Puzzle Whiz, if you guys are interested in making like puzzle books and crossword puzzles, this is where you're going to go to create those. You can go to Book Bolt Designer, which is where we're going to touch on here, and then you can go to Bolt Mass Cover Converter. To be honest, I have never used this, you guys, and I am not about showing y'all something I have never used. So I'm going to go to what I've actually used, which is the Book Bolt Designer. So you click on that, and then you just pretty much log in again. And so now this is pretty much where you are actually creating your low content book. It's super dope, okay? Because you don't have to do anything extra, right, to create your book. But what I will make sure you guys know is please pay attention to like your dimensions and like have an idea in mind of what you want your dimensions to be, so that way everything matches. So for an example, typically I think that journals are gonna be like 8.5 by 11 when it comes to dimensions, okay? So you guys pretty much know what size that is. When you're in the Book Bolt Designer, you wanna really be sure that all dimensions match, because then when you go to Amazon KDP, it's gonna list out those same dimensions that you see in Book Bolt Designer. So for an example, just starting out, just as a paperback book, I wanna work on the cover. Well, I know that this trim size, which is the dimension size I'm referring to, I know that this is too small. This is not what I want when it comes to a journal. But when I click this drop down and I find the 8.5 by 11, this is going to give me exactly what I need as far as my trim size, and that way the designer is going to pretty much form those dimensions, so that way I can add my content to this book. So as far as paper color, this is another area where you want to make sure that it matches, because when you go to Amazon KDP, it's going to give you these same options. You're going to have black and white to cream paper, you're going to have black and white paper, and so on and so forth. I believe it only defaults to the black and white, so just go ahead and keep that if you want to. And then lastly, you want to have what idea you want to have for your page count, whether that's 50, 100, 110. So just for hypothetical sake, I'm just gonna do 100. I think that's pretty standard, and it's not gonna be difficult when it comes to printing. So let's go ahead and hit submit. Let that take a couple of minutes. Okay, so after it's pretty much thought about your dimensions, it's now creating the design space. So now you can go ahead and start creating your low content book. So if you guys paid attention to in the beginning when I chose cover and interior in my pages, what I was doing was pretty much creating the space to actually make the book cover. So what you want to do is pretty much just read from, you know, left to right, to pretty much start thinking about like your color ideas, your font, and things like that. So on the left hand side here, you're gonna have your product, which is already what we chose in the beginning. Okay, so it's gonna be a paperback. This is my cover. I'm doing the 8.5 by 11 dimensions, and so on and so forth. Now, as far as the text, you have a lot of good options here as well. Just a good rule of thumb, you guys know that when it comes to a book, hopefully this makes sense here, so bear with me. When it comes to a book, what you see here, you have to think of the book being open and the interior face down, okay? Over here on the right hand side, that's gonna be your cover, whereas the left hand side, that's gonna be your back, okay? So I'm gonna say that again. When you're thinking about this and you're in this space, you have to think of it as if the book is open, flipped over, and your interior is on the table, okay? So therefore, on this right hand side, this is going to be where your actual cover is, so like your title, your pictures, things like that. The left hand side is going to be the back, and then you have your barcode. So just visually, I wanted to tell you guys that so that way you know to put your graphics and everything on the right side. Okay, so set out that to say that, so that way when it comes to designing, you ain't gonna have no mismatched books, and you don't have to do it over again, basically. So you can pretty much see here, I'm not gonna go into all of the fonts. I want you guys to have this creative freedom, but what I do want to make sure is that I show you what options you have, and you can also upload fonts and then load so many more fonts when it comes to using this BookBoat designer. Okay, so that's font. Let me scroll back up here, go to images. I've already created a few things, and I don't mind sharing with you guys what I've created. So pretty much I'm thinking about like making composition notebooks, which yes, indeed, you can make those. And so this is where I would actually put my cover, as you guys can see here. I would also just stress the fact that you don't want to like have your design like this. It's not going to be approved in Amazon KDP. You want to make sure that it's honestly, you're gonna have to kind of like be a little finicky with it, because it's like very sensitive when it comes to bleeding over the border and things like that. So these are things that you learn with time, but I just wanted to let you guys know that when it comes to actually like editing and designing this, you want to make sure that it's not taking up the entire part of the book, because this middle part here, if you guys can see that, that's the spine of your book. So you just want to make sure that your graphic or your words, it's not crossing over like that, okay? And you also want to make sure that it's not looking like this, because that's not gonna work. Typically, this is what it would look like creating actual book cover, okay? So I'm just gonna play around with it like that, just for you guys can see. And then for my back, very simple, y'all. Blackity black black, okay? So just go ahead and pretty much just do it like that. So that way when this book prints, okay, and as someone, you know, you fold it, the front cover will be what you guys see here on the right side, and then the back cover will be the back, right? So that's that. So that's pretty much how, as far as placement, you would actually create the actual, you know, the book. Honestly, it's really not that hard. It is, you know, you have to really pull your creative juices together to get it going, but that's how you start. That's how you start creating your low content book. So moving on to shapes, you want to add, you know, different types of shapes. You can do that over here. You can add layers. You can add different types of effects as well. You can also mask designs. So what I believe is, as for masking, let's just say the word bridge, right? I take that word bridge and I expand it, and let's just say I want to have like, and as you can see here, effects is inside of bridge, and I can just mask it and it becomes one. And I hope y'all can see what I'm doing, but let me just expand it, right? So you see here that little, like, what is it, this effect here is inside of the word bridge. So it kind of makes it a little bit more, you know, profound and creative and things like that. This is pretty much it when it comes to designing the actual exterior in your cover in BookBoat. And you guys, this is all free. Again, it is a 7-day trial. So for 7 days, you have free reign to try things out, play around with some stuff, get used to it if you want to do this for yourself and start making low content books. But before we go, I want to show you something that's also very helpful when it comes to the interior and designing low content books. So while we're here, I'm going to go to interior. Now interior is going to be also super cool and helpful. Also, you want to make sure that if you're using like whatever device you're using, whether you're using Windows or Mac, just make sure that your pop-ups for this particular site are enabled, and you'll see the little helpful tip right here, because you want to make sure that you get this actual screen when you select interior from the book bolt designer. Okay, so just make sure you have your pop-ups enabled so that way you won't miss this information. But right here, honey, this is where you actually create your interior. So again, low content books are minimal to no content. Okay, so you guys see here you have so many options when it comes to the interior of what type of book to make. But just like I mentioned, when it comes to your cover and the dimensions, you want to make sure that everything matches. So just like how we chose 8.5 by 11 for our cover size, want to make sure for the same thing for interior we have the 8.5 by 11 as well. Now as soon as I find that, okay, so here it is. And then you can also set your page count, which I believe, excuse me, we did 100. And so what that will do is go ahead and download 100 pages for you to have. I did a blank piece of paper, but if I go back and I select college rule, I have to just do it again. It would just make a 100-page count download of college ruled paper. Once you select whatever interior you want to do, make sure you download it and save it as a PDF. Okay, it's very important that you do that because Amazon KDP only supports PDF formats when it comes to your interior pages. Okay, so when you download it, just like how I have it open over here, I'll close that, but just like how I have it open for college rule, all I have to do is download, save as PDF, and you guys see how it says PDF up here. That's all you have to do. So you'll have your book cover designed, okay, from the actual book bolt designer, and then you can also have your interior generated, and these are free pages that you can use to add to the Amazon KDP. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you guys while I'm here is pretty much the actual Amazon KDP site itself. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. Now if you're already an Amazon user, which a lot of us are, then you already have a login and you can just share that same login when it comes to your KDP site. Okay, so this is where after you've designed your book cover, you've downloaded your interior pages, this is where you go to create your low content book. So this part I'm going to kind of just brim through kind of quickly. When it comes now this part I'm just going to kind of go through kind of quickly because it's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so when it comes to creating or publishing any type of low content book, you really just follow the prompts, okay, when it comes to what Amazon is telling you. So for an example, you go to create, you will select paperback, unless you're, you know, creating a Kindle ebook or actual hardcover book. 9 times out of 10 you're going to be creating a paperback. So create paperback, and right here is where you pretty much just start creating all of the contents of the book. Of course, read the little disclaimers that Amazon provides for you. They'll tell you what to do. They walk you through it, y'all. Okay, so this is super easy, and this is where you can pretty much start, you know, describing your book. What are users going to see, or what are customers going to see when it comes to purchasing and things like that. So this is pretty much what it looks like on from the inside when it comes to actually creating and publishing your low content book to sell on Amazon KDP. All right, good people, so that's pretty much it when it comes to the step-by-step way of how you can create your low content book to sell on Amazon KDP. Now I didn't forget, because I wanted to let you guys know of a website that you can go to pretty much step your game up, okay, when it comes to creating like covers, finding graphics outside of maybe like the book bolt designer, and especially if you're someone like me that kind of likes to wow your audience and you want to, like, you know, do something different and be a little extra, then go ahead and go to a site called Creative Market, and there you can find so many types of like graphics, illustrations, fonts. You can have so much fun on Creative Market. That's where I found my graphics when it came to creating my low content books, because again, I I wanted to stand out. When it comes to passive income, because sometimes markets can be saturated, I know we don't like to hear that word, but it is what it is. Because some of these markets can seem saturated, you want to make sure that you are working hard to stand out the best way that you can. So go ahead and click the link below in my description box to Creative Market, play around and, you know, do some searching about what type of graphics you may find helpful to start your low content books and publish that sucker on Amazon KDP. But all right, good people, that is it for today's video. I hope you find it helpful. If you did, do me a favor, please hit that like button. Let YouTube know that you like this so that way they can push it out to other people who may find this information helpful as well, okay? But that is not it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're liking the vibe, okay? As always, y'all, don't forget to drink your water, mind your business, and always choose yourself first. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm gonna catch you in my next video. Bye, y'all. Oh, hey friend, thank you so much for watching. But listen, if you have time, I encourage you to watch my next video so that way you can define your life, learn something new, or just catch the vibe, and I'll see you in my next one.